Hi guys, what we wanted to talk to you today about is dog food labelling. Now I've been down to Asda and picked up some foods that we wouldn't normally stock in the shop. Now we're not here to judge, we genuinely believe you can feed the way you want to feed your dog. If you feed these, that's absolutely fine. If your dog's getting on well with them, then do what you think is right for your dog. Now these don't fit with what we sell, so after this video, make sure you add a comment or something like that. We will give these away to a rescue centre. So if you own a rescue centre, if you work in a rescue centre, if you know someone that does, make sure you share it with them. In fact, actually, we give these away, plus we're throwing a big bag of our dog food as well. We can't post it all out, so try and make sure you're local to us, or either that or jump in the car and drive down to us. So yeah, leave a comment. We will randomly select from there in about a week's time. Okay, so all of these foods here are very, very different, different prices. They're labelled very different, but they all contain one thing. They're all classed as complete dog foods. What that means is there's enough nutrition in there to maintain a healthy dog for a day. Now, obviously, it will maintain longer than that, but you're expected then to feed them the next day. But that's how the terminology works. They've all got different feeding guidelines, so have a look at those. The interesting thing is about the ingredients. What we'd wanted to go over is a couple of key points which might, when you look at the front of the dog food, really help you make a decision. Now, what we're about to go over, I don't expect you to remember, so we're gonna write it up as a blog, and we're also gonna make a PDF so you can save it to your phone, so when you go down the shops you can have a look at it. Okay, so the terminology that's interesting is there's one that if you use the word flavour, which none of these do, but if you use the word flavour, it means it doesn't have to have any of that ingredient in it whatsoever. Flavour literally means flavour. So if it's chicken flavour, now I've been to a fair few shops, I haven't found a complete food that does say flavour. They may well exist, I don't know whether they do. But if it says flavour, it could have the ingredient in there, but it doesn't legally have to. Now we're of a mindset that if someone's going to label something, they will label it as best as they possibly can. So if it says flavour, I would put a fair bit of money on that if there's probably none of that ingredient in there at all. So chicken flavour, I'd put a fair bit of money on that hasn't got any chicken in it whatsoever. One terminology that's used a lot is with. Now with means it has to be at least 4% chicken. You get that in this one, with chicken, and you get it in this one here, with chicken topped with vegetables. So in this particular case you're going to get at least 4% chicken and at least 4% vegetables. So the next stage after with is rich in. Now as you might have guessed, rich in starts at 14% and goes up to 26%. So rich in will fit between those two. That appears in this food here, rich in beef with country vegetables. So you've got at least 14% beef with at least 4% country vegetables. And it appears in this one here, rich in turkey with vegetables. So the same sort of scenario. Okay, so after you've got rich in, which is at least 14%, you go up to 26%, and that's when they just name the ingredient. So the example for this one is Canigum free run chicken. Simple. It's at least 26% meat in order to use that terminology. In this particular case, it's 60%, but it has to be at least 26%. Now, like we said, we firmly believe you should feed how you want to feed. But in our experience, if you feed a better quality food, one with more meat in it, and we tend to advise at least 50% meat, just because that really does make a nice balance between cost and quality, then the dog tends to be happier, tends to be healthier, tends to often not be as ill as often won't have runny stools all the time, won't scratch all the time. They just tend to be better off for it. That's how we feel you should feed, but you don't have to feed like that. Now remember, all of these on this table, plus a big bag of dog food, we're going to give away to a rescue centre. So make sure you share it with someone you know works in there. Maybe you work there or something like that. Stick it in the comments. In about a week's time, we will randomly select someone and they can have the food for the rescue dogs. See ya. Bye.